Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ance Armstrong back again here, coming at you today. We're talking about Team Affinity 3. It's time to take a look at what cards we could be getting during Team Affinity 3. If you haven't known, Team Affinity 3 is going to be dropping on this upcoming Monday, July 12th. It's going to be coming out probably around noon Pacific time, not exactly sure when. And yesterday we actually got the first reveal of our Team Affinity 3 card. I'll throw it up on the screen now. As you can see, the new card art looking absolutely fire. We got RAFAEL Devers. He's going to be the Team Affinity 3 card for the Boston Red Sox, but that still leaves 23 other teams who need a Team Affinity 3 card based off of their all-star representatives. So let's dive in. Let's take a look at what some of these live series cards look like that we could be getting from Team Affinity 3, and ponder about what those cards could look like if they were juiced up to be a 98, 99 overall type card. Let's dive in. As we do it though, let me know down in the comment section below who are you most looking forward to possibly getting in Team Affinity 3. Not just Team Affinity 3 though, maybe even the Home Run Derby program, the flashback cards in TA3. Maybe we get some other choice packs to go along with this. What kind of cards are you hoping to see from this all-star game series? So the first guy we're looking at here, the Orioles only representative in the all-star game, so he's a lock to get this card. It's CEDRIC Mullins. Been one of the best stories of MLB this year. He's got the sweet left-handed swing, and he should be pretty well balanced. 79 speed. You give him some more juice fielding, a little bit more arm strength to be able to play left to right field a little bit better. Maybe 110, 115 contact, 90-ish power both sides with that nice, smooth left-handed swing. CEDRIC Mullins could be a really, really sweet card if you boost this up to a 98 plus overall. We are going to go pretty quickly through a lot of these as we do have 29 or 29 more to go through. So let's hop into the next one, the one that we already know. It's RAFAEL Devers. This card alone on his live series already has great hitting attributes. His power versus right is probably going to be maxed at 125 if it's a higher overall card. Give him 100 contact right. Maybe give him 90 to 95 contact and power versus lefties to really be an all-around sweet, smooth swing hitting third baseman. Devers, another guy with a great swing. The fielding, a bit rough on this card, but if you bump him up to like a 70, 75 and you parallel that up, that's probably at least passable enough at third base to get the job done. And he'll have that first base secondary, could throw him over at first as well. Not going to be super quick, but probably going to be one of the absolute best offensive cards we get from Team Affinity 3. Now, the Yankees, our first team where we got several options to go for, but I'm going with Aaron Judge. My man Chapman's probably going to get a 6 series later on. Garrett Cole could get some sort of other award type card, milestone, whatever type card later on. So I'm going with Aaron Judge. We honestly haven't gotten a great Aaron Judge card in a while. We had the Home Run Derby card last year that was okay, but 91 overall rated on his live series. If you take this card right here, he's already maxed out fielding, and you essentially just give him more contact versus right, a little bit better versus left as well. Imagine this card at 105 to 110 contact versus left, but with like a 90 contact versus right, 100 power versus right. Hello to my outfield. I love the arm. I love the fielding, the accuracy, the reaction. I love nice, solid defenders in the outfield. Aaron Judge is absolutely that. He could be one of the best Team Affinity 3 cards. And in my opinion, outfield is like kind of thin right now. I know I'm kind of crazy. I don't like Mike Trout. I'm wild with it, but I would love a nice juiced Aaron Judge. And I know all the Yankees fans out there would as well. Next one we're looking at, another one where we don't have any options. It's only Mike ZUNINO, the lone all-star representative for the Rays, which is kind of surprising considering how well the Rays are playing this year. They got some really good guys on their team, but ZUNINO's the lone representative at the all-star game. He's going to be slow. He's going to have good defense. And another card, I mean, 76 overall. So we look at this live series card. He has 20 overall points to gain to get up to a Team Affinity 3 caliber card. So let's get him some actual contact versus right. Let's get his power up to 100 plus. And we're looking at a catcher that can rival some of the best catchers in this game. I'm still rocking Jorge Posada right now, and I love him. I love Jorge, but I think it's getting time to move on. Imagine this card kind of essentially being maybe a Sam Huff, but with a better swing, a little bit more power, maybe some slightly contact. Of course, the contact versus right is going to be rough. So if you're using a guy like ZUNINO, you know, who knows how much he gets juiced. But if you're playing an Edward Cabrera on Hall of Fame, with a 50 contact card. It's going to go pretty poorly, but ZUNINO, always a very fun card. He will be getting a Team Affinity 3 card for the Rays. I'm always a fan of getting some nice catchers. Now, the last one we're looking at here, the Blue Jays got a lot of options as well. We got Vladdy, we got Simeon, we got Bo Bichette, but I'm going with everyone's favorite, Teoscar Hernandez. He's been crushing it this year. He's been doing incredible. He already has the 95 contact left, the 105 power right. We're already doing good things with that and rocking with it. If we can bump that contact and power versus right up, make him a little bit even across the board, give him a little bit more fielding and maybe like an 80, 85 fielding. Let's juice him up a little bit. Teoscar Hernandez, great swing in this game. Could be another great addition to the outfield. I think if it's not Teoscar, could also be Bo Bichette. He's probably due for a good card at some point. They could look to get a shortstop, but I'm going with Teoscar Hernandez. He's been crushing it this year, having a really, really good season. A fan favorite as well. I love to see this card as the TA3 card for the Blue Jays coming up this upcoming Monday. Now on to the AL Central. We're starting here with Liam Hendriks from the White Sox. I'm guessing that there's going to want to probably be a couple relievers in this program. We haven't gotten any relievers from Team Affinity, and I personally would like to see a couple more. So we saw quite a bit with Finest last year. We saw some in this all-star program. Is essentially like a Finest Part 1, a Finest Junior, however you want to call it, although the cards could be 99s just as well. So I'm going with Liam Hendriks. Could also be a Lance Lynn, but Lance Lynn's pitch mix I don't love too much. I'd like to see a nice cracked out 99 overall reliever. The bullpen for me is a little thin right now. I got guys that I like, but definitely guys that can be improved upon. I'd love to see Liam Hendriks. The 4-seam, the slider, the curveball, and the 2-seamer are the pitches that he's rocking with. Per nines would be out of this world, of course. I think it would be a pretty sick card to have, and that's what I'm rocking with for the White Sox with Team Affinity 3. So Indians, another team with 2 all-stars, both J-Ram and Shane Bieber are all-stars in this year's game. So we got an option between the two of them. And let's just say I don't want J-Ram. I really don't. I don't want him. I don't want it to be J-Ram. I need it. I need Jose Ramirez. I need a 99 overall cracked out Jose Ramirez in my life. I love switch hitters. I need more of them. I need all the switch hitters I can get. J-Ram's 99s last year. I know a lot of people weren't a huge fan of them. I'm going to be honest. I loved him. I love the quick swing. He's going to have some solid defense, most likely on a higher overall card. And he's going to be able to crush both sides of the plate. Obviously, righties, he's going to be able to hit them with that power. You give him a little bit more balance versus lefties on the contact and the power. My man J-Ram could be 80, let's just say maybe like an 80 contact right with a 105 power. Nice 95 contact left with like a 90 power, so to speak. That's a pretty solid across the board hitter. Give him 75, 80 defense. He's locking it down, can play all the positions. I love Jose Ramirez. He's got one of my favorite swings in the game. SES, if you're watching this video, just do it. For me, please, just do it. Let's make it happen. We can do good things. Now on to Detroit, whose all-star is a bronze in this game. Doesn't even show up on the top of the screen, but ironically, it's going to be one of the best cards in Team Affinity 3. I have to actually come down here and find him because I'm not sure what there he is. 67 overall, Gregory Soto. That's the Tigers all-star. That's who's representing them at the all-star game. But let's take a look at a couple things. One, he's a lefty and he's a reliever. So another lefty reliever guaranteed. Let's take a look at the pitch mix. Sinker, yes sir. Slider, all right. 4-seam fastball, okay. And a changeup. You already know that we're going to be rocking with that. He's going to have great per nines. The thing that's going to be lacking on him is maybe the control. Is he going to have enough control to make it happen? I hope so. Velo on the sinker on 95, 97 on the 4-seam. He's got good pitches. He's a lefty. He's got a solid little delivery. I'm actually really excited to see Gregory Soto. Probably going to be one of the lower overall cards, maybe like a 96 kind of range, especially being a reliever, but I think Gregory Soto could be sick. Obviously, he's been having a good year. Now, of course, the Tigers, you're not going to have a crazy all-star game representative, but hey, Gregory Soto's locking it down for them. One of the sneakiest cards that could be happening in this program. We'll have to see what he looks like, but lefty relievers, No matter what, we're taking those all day long. Now, Kansas City, another team, just one all-star representative. That is Salvador Perez. He's the starter for catcher for the American League. Been having a great season. He's going to be a really sweet card. Pretty even across the board. We had his finest card last year. That was a 99. That ended up being most people's favorite catcher in the game. Salvador Perez has an awesome swing. Always does. Super smooth. He's going to have 90 to 100 contact. Another 90 to 100 power on both sides. Probably juice him up a little bit on the defense. He's going to be a little slow, but when he's hitting home runs, it don't matter how fast he's trotting around the bases. Salvador Perez, him and ZUNINO are going to be making a push for starting at catcher for me, assuming that they get these cards. Those are going to be super sweet cards, and I am looking forward to both of those. Sal Perez was one of my favorite cards last year, that finest card that he got, especially that prestige version. That was a sweet card. We're going to parallel 5 this one up. We're going to be rocking with that. Now, for the Twins, I'm looking at a little something different right here because we just actually had this 93 Nelson Cruz drop right now. You actually can't even get them yet. Maybe you can with the dailies. I'm a little bit behind, as always. I'm only one daily behind, not doing too bad. But we just had this 93 Nelson Cruz drop, and Nelson Cruz is the only Minnesota Twins representative. So this is a pretty good idea of the card we're going to get. A little strange that we may just get a duplicate card. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I would expect 125 power to both sides. Maybe keep that 125 contact, a little bit more contact, right? And then shoot, maybe you bump him up to like a 65 on the fielding so he could hold his zone out there. I'm not sure, but if Nelson Cruz has enough fielding on his 98 overall card or 99 or 96, whatever it ends up being from Team Affinity 3 as the only Twins representative, that's really all we have to work off of to what they are going to get. Could they maybe change it up for the Twins and do something else? Possibly. Their tweet did explicitly say, though, 2021 All-Star. So I would expect it to be Nelson Cruz. Juice him up a little bit more. Hey, Nelson Cruz is getting 2 diamonds. I'm here for it. Let's rock with it. At minimum, it's going to be an absolutely insane bench bet. Almost guaranteed to be 125 versus lefties. You're going to be rocking them on your bench at worst case all year long. Now on to the AL West, 2 divisions down. Last one here in the American League. Another team with a lot of all-stars, but I'm thinking it's going to be Michael Brantley. The rest of the all-stars on the team, such as like Altuve or Correa, probably getting other cards elsewhere. We could be seeing a Ryan Presley with this, but I actually envision him being part of the June Player of the Month program. At the time of recording, that's not out yet, so I'm going with Michael Brantley out here. Probably a guy who's not having a lot of opportunities to get another card, but he can get one through this All-Star Game program. Overall, Brantley would probably be one of the lesser cards that we get. He's going to have good contact. He's not going to have a whole lot of power, and he's going to be okay fielding and not that fast. Kind of take like a Ty Cobb, but without the speed and without the defense. That's what I'm kind of feeling with Michael Brantley, but that's okay. Astros deserve an L. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry, Astros fan. I didn't mean that. Well, I kind of did, but that's okay. On to the next one. Next one we're looking at here, the Angels. I think a 99 Trout, they're going to save for something else and not give him through the All-Star Game program. I think an Ohtani is a little too OP right now. We'll see how they manage Ohtani. He's probably going to get something at some point, but I think they're going to go Jared Walsh here. First baseman. He's going to absolutely destroy righties. Another guy who's probably a guaranteed bench bat for the rest of the year. 125 versus right. The lefties are going to be pretty rough, but he'll play some good defense. First base can kind of be a stacked position. We already got guys like Eddie Murray, Big Poppy holding it down. But hey, you never know if Jared Walsh has solid splits and he can hit lefties pretty well. Definitely playable. He's got the reliever secondary too. Could they work into that, into something sick with this card and let him be able to pitch somehow? I'm not exactly sure how that would work, but it would actually be kind of cool if they turn him into a dude who could like legit pitch, and he can play left field and right field as well. Next one we're looking at. It could be the best card in this program. The only All-Star Game representative from the A's is Matt Olson. All I'm going to say is, if you know, you know. Matt Olson has one of, if not the best swing in MLB The Show. That lefty swing, the ball flies off his bat. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. It doesn't matter where you throw it. Matt Olson is insane. And you give this guy 120 contact and power versus righties and 90 contact and power versus lefties with a 99 defense, he's going to make every play at first. He's going to be smoking the ball. Forget about it. Matt Olson, if he's a 98, he's a 99. If he's in the program, which he should be, he's the only All-Star Game representative. That's my first baseman. That's it. Don't need to release any first basemans rest of the year. I got him. He's right there. His name is Matt Olson. Be on the lookout for this card because it's going to be absolutely insane. One of the cards, maybe the one I'm most excited about getting potentially in this program. Next one we're looking at here, actually pretty sneaky. Yusei Kikuchi, only representative in the All-Star game for the Mariners. But the pitch mix, let's look at the pitch mix. He's got the cutter, the four-seam slider, changeup. He doesn't have the sinker, but I love cutters and changeups this year. Four-seam and sliders pretty solid as well. Has some decent pitch mix. You mix that with some solid per nines, some good velo differences, which he has. A little bit of a funky delivery. I think Yusei Kikuchi could be a pretty sneaky card and actually a really fun one to use. He is a lefty though. We got a lot of lefties in the game and some solid righty hitters as well, but we'll see. I think he has a lot of potential. Now, last card we're looking at here in the American League. Rangers got 3 All-Star representatives. We got Adolis, we got Joey, we got Kyle Gibson. Adolis already has his tops now, so I don't see that happening. Joey Gallo, they just announced actually he's going to be in the home run derby, so I could see him more maybe getting a home run derby card. Because of that, I think we're getting a Kyle Gibson. You give this card some good per nine, some high hits per nine and Ks per nine. I think he's going to be rocking. Now, unfortunately, Kyle Gibson still not striking out a lot of people this year. He leads the American League in ERA, but he doesn't strike out a ton. So his walks per nine and hits per nine are probably going to be pretty high, along with the home runs per nine in control. But the Ks per nine could keep that down and just hurt him a little bit, make him not that great. But he's got a good pitch mix. He's going to have sinker, slider, changeup, four-seam, curveball. That is a really solid 5 pitches. Doesn't have the cutter, but got the sinker. And if he has really high control on that, he could essentially almost kind of be a righty version of Tom Glavine. He's one of my favorite pitchers in this game. So I'll be looking forward to Kyle Gibson. I think he's pretty firmly in there for the Rangers. It would be a really sneaky starting pitcher in this game, especially with pinpoint if he has high control. On to the National League here. And I know I was saying I'll do anything for J-Ram, but I legitimately will do anything for a 99 cracked out Ozzie Albies nice early on in the game. That can be my second baseman forever. Please, 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 please. There's a theme here. There's a switch hitter. I'm taking them. I need them. I love them. Give him 125 versus lefties. He's low-key been kind of popping versus righties. So give him like give him like 80 contact, but then like 100 power. I don't know. He's been hitting some home runs. Let me have some Ozzie. Get that elite defense, that speed going on. I need it. The smooth swing, smooth as butter. I love Ozzie Albies. He's one of my favorite players, not in MLB The Show, just in baseball. He's electric to watch. He's young. He's a future star for the Braves and Major League Baseball. He's on the All-Star game. Let's reward him. Give him a sick card. I need it. I want it. I desire it. Give me an Ozzie Albies. I'm going with it. Honestly, it kind of makes sense as well. Acuna's probably getting something different later on. Give Freddie Freeman an MVP card from last year. And let's rock with Ozzie a little bit. Marlins, we only got one person. It's Trevor Rogers. Another lefty starter is going to be added to the game. Four-seam slider, changeup, two-seam on the pitch mix. Not a great pitch mix, especially for a starter. He's going to have good Ks per nine, good hits per nine. We'll see what the control looks like. But the pitch mix, I think, unfortunately for me, is going to hold back Trevor Rogers just a little bit. I need a cutter or a sinker or something like that at least, but we'll see. I mean, four-seam slider, changeup, you can work with that. Two-seamers generally aren't that great in this game, unfortunately, but you never know. You give him some insane per nines, got solid little motion. You could probably make something happen with the right mix, the right location, and the right control. Now on to the Mets. Mets is a bit of a weird one. DeGrom is their all-star representative, but he may not be pitching in the game. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm not sure. I mean, DeGrom's already a 96 with his live series, so it would certainly be a 99 on his all-star card, and he would be absolutely insane. He would be absolutely cracked. If it's not DeGrom, it's probably going to be Taijuan Walker replacing him. So I think Taijuan Walker is probably a bit more realistic, but it's tough to say. We don't know what's going to happen. DeGrom is like kind of pitching. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. We don't really know. They could also do just something crazy and give DeGrom basically his base pitching stats, but then just like juice his hitting or something like that. I don't know. There's a lot of ways to go about it. Mets are a weird one. I'm saying Taijuan Walker. I can't even begin to kind of guess who it is because we don't know who's going to be representing them in the All-Star game. If it's DeGrom, that card is going to find a way to be insane. If it's not, we'll see who ends up replacing him in the All-Star game. Continuing the NL East, we're on to the Phillies. Zach Wheeler, dude has been insane this year. Been striking out a ridiculous amount of batters as well. I'd expect his All-Star game card to have like 115 Ks per nine, an absolutely insane number. He honestly needs more of a bump on his current card than what he has now. If that hits per nine up, and when you look at the pitches, four-seam, sinker, slider, curveball, changeup, we're rocking with that. We're rolling with that. We like that pitch mix a lot. Zach Wheeler, a solid righty starter. I don't want to say it, but like could be kind of Edward Cabrera-esque, but maybe better. I don't want to say it. I get it. It's a bit of a sensitive subject, but I could see him being a better Edward Cabrera if that seeker plays on his All-Star card, if he were to get one, especially with the per nines. It may not be what we're looking for, but it may be what we get. It's what I'm thinking we're going to get. I'm guessing Real Muto gets a better card down the line, maybe a flashback to one of his finest cards that he's gotten. So I'm rocking with Zach Wheeler as the Phillies Team Affinity 3 card. Now, the last one for the NL East, the Nats. We know that Juan Soto is going to be the home run derby. So I'm looking at him getting a home run derby card, and I'm thinking we're going to get a nice Trey Turner. Give me that 99 speed, boost up his fielding a little bit. Let's let him get some 80-ish power, right? The contact versus right, get up to about a 90-ish. Given that contact left, 125, 80 power both sides. Trey Turner has the sweet swing. He's got the speed. Give him a little bit more fielding. He can play second, third, and center, as well as shortstop, his primary position. I would like Trey Turner a lot. Trey Turner always plays above his stats for me. He had that 98 tops now Trey Turner last year that nobody really used because he came out so late. But whenever people were using him a little bit, or whenever I against him, I swear I always gave up a home run to that card. I think Trey Turner would be a really, really cool card for the Nats Team Affinity 3. Two divisions left. We're on to the Cubs. Kris Bryant and Craig Kimbrell are options here. I'm guessing Kimbrell gets like an awards or 6 series later on, so I'm going Kris Bryant. Although he's maybe turned into like the worst hitter in baseball in the month of June, you don't need to worry about that. Kris Bryant, he already crushes lefties, 116, 105 versus lefties. Let's get that versus righties up to into the 80s and 90s. Max him out versus lefties. He's got the nice swing. Give him a little bit of fielding. And that is a third baseman that is going to be competing for that starting third baseman job on my squad over guys like Chipper Jones. I love Kris Bryant. He usually plays pretty well. And he can play first. He can play out the outfield spots. Give him enough defense to hold his own in the outfield. He's a versatile player. Could be a solid bench bat. Could be a solid platoon piece on your squad. Kris Bryant would be a really, really cool addition to this Team Affinity 3 program. On to the Reds. We already got Winker with the Player of the Month card. So let's give Castellanos some love. He's going to be a pretty nutty, like a Dante Bichette type card. Maxed out hitting essentially across the board. Max out versus lefties. Give him a little bit of defense as well. Help him hold his own. But Castellanos, you juice him up to a 98, 99. He could be absolutely insane. There's kind of a theme here of some dudes who have some pretty firm splits that could be pretty nutty. And at worst case would be some insane bench bats. Plays first, third, and left field. That Player of the Month, Castellanos flashback from last year, was actually a pretty insane third baseman. If you give Castellanos just enough fielding to hold his own at third base, maybe parallel him up a little bit, Castellanos could be a pretty insane third baseman as well. The hitting attributes are already there on this card. Let's boost those up, give him some defense, and I would be rocking with Castellanos somewhere. I'd have to give him a shot at minimum. On to the Brewers. We already got a Corbin Burns card. I think an insane Josh Hader card would be a little too insane right now, a little too crazy. So that leaves the option with Brandon Woodruff. 4-seam, 2-seam, changeup, slider, 12 curve. It's not just like the best picks mix ever, but look at the hits per nine. Already a 96. You bump those up and you give them really, really strong hits per nine, Ks per nine. TI is already feeling a little small this year. I think Brandon Woodruff could be absolutely dominant and rocking with it. Another really strong righty pitcher. Doesn't have any of the absolute meta pitches, but you never know. Some people enjoy pitching with differences. The 4-seam, 2-seam changeup slider, it's not for me, but I still think with the right per nines and control attributes, it could play really, really well. On to the Pirates. Unfortunately, Adam Frazier and Brian Reynolds, there's not like a great option between them. I'm sorry, Pirates fan. I think Adam Frazier probably gets it. He's been playing really well. You give him a nice slick field and second baseman, but he's going to have really good contact. Not a whole lot of power. And unfortunately for that, I think the Pirates are going to be taking an L on this one. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe they could juice them a little bit. We've seen crazy things happen. Our Lord and Savior Jacob Stallings from last year. Let us never forget. Who knows what they could do? But out the gate, based off his live series cards, splits, and attributes, I don't know if Alan Frazier would be that great, but maybe they surprise us. I'm sorry, Pirates fans. On to the Cardinals. I don't think Arenado is going to be picking up a card this early, which is why I think it's going to go to the Cardinals' other all-star that they have, Alex Reyes. Another opportunity to get a nice reliever with a solid pitch mix here. He's got the four seam, the curveball, the slider, the two seam, the changeup. Problem with him though, of course, missing the cutter, missing the sinker, and probably gonna have zero control. He only has 17 walks per 9 on his live series card, 48 control. If he can't control any pitches, it's not going to go very well. But if he can't control those pitches, he's going to have really good hits per 9 and Ks per 9. He's going to have the velo as well. Absolutely pumping heat. Maybe they could give him a little outlier action going on. Could pump some heat and be pretty nasty. But I think the control is going to hold him back just a little bit. They can juice that up. Could be a pretty insane reliever in the Team Affinity 3 program. One division left here in this prediction video, and we got another switch hitter coming. Eduardo Escobar, the lone Diamondbacks representative in the All-Star game. Could be a really sneaky card. He's going to play third, first, second, short, left, right. Pretty solid hitting stats across the board. You juice those up to a solid 85, 95, 100, just firm across the board. Give him some fielding. He's got some solid speed. Eduardo Escobar has a really sweet swing as well. This could be one of the sneakier cards as part of this Team Affinity 3 program. As the lone representatives of the Diamondbacks, it should be Eduardo Escobar. 97 plus overall card we're looking at here in Team Affinity 3. Another team with just one representative, it's the Rockies. Marquez has actually been really solid this year, especially considering he's been playing in Colorado. Give him some good per 9s. Not a bad pitch mix overall. He's got the four seam, the knuckle curve, slider, sinker, and changeup. So he does have that sinker. If he can control it, locate it pretty well, could be a pretty solid righty starter if he gets some good hits per 9 and Ks per 9 on the card. I'll be interested to see how that one plays out. Especially playing in Colorado, he's been really impressive so far this season. On to the Dodgers. Of course, they got a lot of players in the All-Star game who already have really solid live series cards. So I think SDS takes this as an opportunity to give someone a little bit lower rated, a higher overall card. That's going to be Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor, really solid card in BR. He's going to be able to hit the lefties pretty well. If he can hit righties as well, juice him up a little bit. He's going to be a little bit worse versus righties, of course, but pretty strong splits versus lefties. Primary second baseman. We don't have a ton of just insane second basemen in this game, so I'm always going to take an opportunity to get a nice 97, 98 overall second baseman. Can also play third, short, left, center, and right field. Got 77 fielding on his live series card, so if we boost that up a little bit along with 73 speed, I think Chris Taylor could be really sneaky card here in this program. On to the Padres. I don't think it's going to be Tatis. They're going to save that for something else. It could be Mark Melancon, but I'm really wanting to see a nice DARVISH card. Got the cutter, the slider, the four seam, the two seam, and the curveball rocking. I like the cutter action. I love DARVISH. He's one of my favorite players in the league as well. So I just like the opportunity to get a 99 overall, 98 overall DARVISH and rock with that card for some time. I think it'd be really cool, even if he wasn't the best player in the program, even if he wasn't the best pitcher in the game. I would like to just get the chance to use him. I think that would be a lot of fun. He'd be a very enjoyable card to use, especially if they can get his pitches moving and grooving like they do in real life. He could end up being pretty nasty. You give him enough control. He's got the 96 break. You mix that with some pinpoint action, could end up being a really sneaky card. Last one we're looking at here is the Giants. Been part of this Giants team that's been surprising a lot of people. That's Kevin Gausman. He's got the four seam, the splitter, the slider, the two seam. Not like a great pitch mix, you know, the splitters aren't that great. He's got two fastballs, but 99 hits per 9 already. You bump that bad boy up to a 120 plus or so. You give him some Ks per 9, some really good control. Another starter righty that could be really solid. Overall, with the TA program, a lot of solid starting pitchers I think we could be getting, and you never know how they're going to quite pan out. We didn't necessarily think Edward Cabrera would be the absolute best starter whenever he was announced. And if you give these cards some really good per 9s, which they all should have at that high overall point, a lot of these cards are going to be able to play with pinpoint pitching this year. I think it's going to be really, really exciting. But I'm going with Kevin Gausman. Other option could be Buster Posey. He probably gets an MVP card at some point later on in the year. So that does it. Those are the 30 cards that we're predicting for Team Affinity Stage 3. Of course, let me know down in the comment section below if you think somebody else could get one that I'm not mentioning, or what other thoughts you could have for Team Affinity 3. We do know that they're going to be 2021 All-Star cards. That's what we've seen so far. We've had the one revealed, but let me know down in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on these cards that we could be seeing this year. As always, if you enjoyed this video, definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Firmly in a 20K push, 1.5K subs away. Like 60% of y'all who watch the videos aren't subbed. Be sure to sub with the channel. Let's get to 20K. Until next time, though, I'll catch y'all around.